filed perpetuity vote with the Secretary of State, filing date 8/10/2018. And just as a side note, we didn't get to vote on that. Okay, and we own the property in 17, so we knew nothing about this, just so you know. But this was all done more or less in a clandestine manner. Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association, the term for which the association shall exist is perpetual. 5 directors, 56 members. Okay, they even claim that Mr. Belfort voted for this, which he is saying that he didn't.
I didn't attend the meeting.
Yeah,
so I couldn't have voted for it, and I wouldn't have voted for it.
Yeah, so we got down here, the president signed it, amendment. So this is an amendment to the Articles of Incorporation, Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association. President, right here, down under notary seal. So I want to show that first. Then we're going to go to this letter that was done way before me, April 23rd, 2005. This is a letter from an attorney. Okay, this is attorney representations and advisements. Okay, done in 2005 to then president. This is the president of Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association right here. But let me look at this. Okay, you have requested that I review the corporate records of Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association. The provisions of Nevada law advise you how the corporation could be dissolved. Okay, Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association was formed as a Nevada nonprofit cooperative corporation without stock when the Articles of Incorporation were filed with Nevada Secretary of State August 25th, 1981. Paragraph 3 of the Article of Incorporation entitled Purpose. Paragraph 2 provides, the principal purpose of the association shall be the ownership of the roadway easement within Wilcox Ranch and the maintenance of the roads and roadways within such easement until such time as the easement and roadway therein are accepted for maintenance by an appropriate government agency. Okay, so that's never happened, as far as I know. Okay, the Declaration of Reservations that was recorded with the Washoe County Recorder on August 26, 1981. The declaration expired 20 years after the recordation. The Declaration of Reservation, although expired, contains provisions that relate to the formation of the association. The declaration provided in relevant parts as follows. Declarant has formed a nonprofit corporation known as Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association, POA, which is to be composed of all the owners of parcels of the property. The POA shall have as its principal purpose the ownership of the roadway easements within the property and the maintenance of the roads within said easement until such time as said easement and roads are accepted for maintenance by an appropriate government agency. Nevada law does allow a corporation to be dissolved. NRS 82-451 provides for the voluntary dissolution by directors and members. A corporation may be dissolved and its affairs wound up voluntarily if the board of directors adopts a resolution to that effect and calls a meeting of the members entitled to vote and take action upon the resolution. The meeting of the members must be held with due notice. If at the meeting the members entitled to exercise a majority of all the voting power consent by resolution to the dissolution, a certificate signed by an officer of the corporation is filed in the office of the Secretary of State. Upon dissolution of any corporation under the provisions of NRS 82.451, the directors are the trustees of the corporation in liquidation and in winding up the affairs of the corporation. If Washoe County, the General Improvement District, refused to accept the conveyance of the association roadways, the continued legal existence of the roadways could be placed in jeopardy. If you require any further assistance, please let me know. Okay, this is done by an attorney. Okay, this thing was never dissolved, and I just showed you the perpetuity vote where they put this thing back into play, even though the thing has been expired, the 20 years, but they voted this in perpetual existence. So this thing's never been sued, and these people are in there saying it doesn't exist, taking checks, some of them, after they say it doesn't exist. They're representing. But the thing is, they knew about this thing back in April 23, 2005, and they continued. I found this document in the books and records of Wilcox Ranch that was provided to me. Okay, so they continue to operate this thing for 15 years approximately, unchecked, unaccounting, the financials. Okay, so this is what's really going on here. They don't want to talk about the financials in here that there's no accounting for, and all the checks were written to them and their friends. Meanwhile, we have dozens and dozens of emails where the members are complaining no roadwork's done. So, you know, and we have checks for the last 5 years that show all the money is unaccounted for, $40,000 to $50,000 that went to them, the officers, and their friends, with no invoices, no time cards.
Just take note, that was only 5 years.
Yeah, no, this needs a forensic audit for 15 years. Okay? And the district attorney is refusing to investigate this financial crime. And he's a defendant now. Okay, we're being threatened. We've been threatened 3 times by these people. And that's all been documented. Okay? And you're intimidating witnesses, whistleblowers to financial crimes, and you're threatening to bury us out there, and you're beckoning to fight a senior citizen in a store over the same matter during an open court case that the district attorney is involved in, and they're violating due process left and right, his deputies.
It's several open court cases, just to clarify.
Yeah. Any final words on this?
All I have to say is look at their representations, and look at the evidence.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, this is not going away, and we're going to take it to the end. And there's going to be multiple lawsuits, and there's going to be a quiet title lawsuit for these fraudulent representations. Stand by and watch.